All right, folks, how are we doing today? Good to be with you here for a week. Let's do it. Let's see, stop screen share for you there. It's good to be with you here for week 6 of the Home Business Workshop. Welcome here to Home Business Freedom. I am Smiling Stu. We're going to get through week 6 of the Home Business Workshop this evening, and we've got some interesting things for you. As you saw, we started with my assistant, Jake, my AI assistant, and that's going to be our topic tonight. We're going to talk about right now you're seeing all this AI, and I'm wearing the wrong shirt to be doing this because you're going to kind of see me glowing tonight because it's the wrong color for this. Anyway, but AI for you is, coming for everything. And it's one of those things that's going to be a big part of what we're going to be doing going forward. So let me get our presentation fired up for you here tonight. There we go. And as I say, we're going to be talking about AI. So let me get the screen share going for you here. And there we go. All right. So, as I say, we're going to be talking about AI this evening. And basically, so let's start with a definition for you. What is artificial intelligence? Well, it's basically a computer that can see, hear, read, and then make decisions and perform tasks based upon the information that it learns. So it can make its own decisions based upon all the information it takes in. Now, that can be information provided by us, or it can be information it finds for itself, or that it learns for itself. In Netflix, it's in Netflix, it's in Siri, it's in Alexa. When you say, Alexa, what is this? It's using AI to find it for you. It's using AI to understand what you're saying. It's using AI to search the internet for you, everything. And then, things like facial recognition. I mean, the thing that opens up your phone for you is an AI. It's taking all these data points and deciding whether or not it's really you. And so, AI has been around for a while, and it's something we've been using in a lot of ways. It's just really come on the scene lately with the chat GPT and, worrying about something that could write your essay for you and things of that nature. So it's been around for a long time, and it's only going to grow. But the thing you might want to think about is where it could go. Another thing that I don't know if you're familiar with the Da Vinci surgical robot, but it's a robot that can actually perform surgery from another country even. So they'll be able to actually send these into third world countries that don't have good health care and be able to perform a surgery with a surgeon that's here in the United States. So that's kind of a neat thing. It's got its definite pluses, but it's also got its minuses. So anyway, the great replacement is coming for some. And what do I mean by that? Well, we're worried about AI taking over everything. And eventually it may. It may do a lot to just run everything in our lives. But as it's up and coming, it's going to replace some people before it replaces others. So kind of got to think about what it is you're doing. If a robot can do it and it can do it cheaply and efficiently, it makes more sense to use a robot than it makes sense to use a human being, because human beings get sick, they call off work, they have good days, bad days, they have to sleep. A robot can work 24/7 outside of charge time. And really, if you change the battery pack, you could use it nonstop. So, and you could have another robot do the battery pack change. So that's the thing that's mainly, if you embrace it now and utilize it to help improve what you're doing and increase the speed of what you're doing, then it can be a really wonderful thing. As I say, humans are unpredictable. They're expensive. A robot, a human being, cost of paying a human being for a year, plus all their benefits and everything else, versus the cost of buying a robot. Well, again, a robot works 24/7. If you could buy a robot for $50,000, that's basically the cost of 1 year of a human. So, and again, they show up. So humans tend to be slow. Robots are faster. Humans take breaks. Robots don't. Um, do you ever want to fire somebody for one of those reasons? Because they, either you're paying them too much, or they're slow, or maybe they take too many breaks to go smoke cigarettes. Maybe they're not reliable showing up to work. Yeah, I've wanted to fire people under me many times for some of those reasons. So if you can get a robot that replaces that, it's not a real good thing for humans. Um, so right now you've got a bunch of things that you're hearing about, and so we'll talk about a few of them. And some of them actually have changed. I set this up even last week, and some of it has changed. So that's how quickly things are moving here. So we have things like Chat GPT and Bard, and Jasper is another form of an AI, and then Emerson. So I'm going to show you those here in just a second. We have Dolly, which is for original artwork. Synthesia is the AI assistant you just saw at the beginning. Now, that AI assistant can be used for something as simple as a little introduction like that, or it can be used for an entire training video. So there's no need to hire an actor to create your company's training video anymore. You just use Synthesia. You type in what you want Synthesia to say, and Synthesia says it for you. And then you can supplement. It's like setting up a PowerPoint. It's as easy as setting up this display that I'm showing you now, and the AI will actually come out and explain it for you instead of me. So I can be replaced right now by an AI, but you don't get my smile. So there's the advantage. Anyway, and that's where AI can't replace you yet. It can't replace you. It can replace a lot of the things you do. It can make some of the things you do easier, but it can't replace you yet. So anyway, then you have Descript.com here. Descript.com is a voice matching software. So that's where you can actually take an AI like Synthesia and get one that's actually made of your images, which you have to go in and do a lot of photo sessions for. And then you can actually train it to your voice. So you could actually have yourself, you could actually be looking at me right now, but it could actually be AI. And that's doable right now. Okay, that's not future, that's right now. SoundDraw is a copyright of free music. I'm going to kind of show you some of that. But the nice thing about SoundDraw is you can kind of make music to go along with your video, and it's copyright free because it's just been created by AI. So there's no copyrights on it. So you can use it all day long and nobody can come and talk to you about it. Otter AI is a Zoom meeting transcriber. Ever want to skip a meeting? You can actually show up, put your face in the thing, then blank your face out and start this Otter AI, and it'll transcribe all the notes of the Zoom meeting for you. And you can be off doing something else. Now, don't get caught doing that. Your boss might not like it. Video AI is for repurposing videos, and Munch also does a similar thing. And that does is it'll take a full-length video for you, and it'll repurpose it into smaller clips to be used on TikTok or Reels or any of those types of things. So it saves you a lot of time on editing your own video for it because it'll automatically pluck those things out for you. So that's a really handy feature. So I'm going to back out of here real quick. I'm going to show you a couple of these right now. So let me just get rid of that. So that was a Synthesia, obviously. You already saw that. And the cool thing about Synthesia, and we're actually going to see it again here in a minute, but that is a really neat tool that you can use. And we'll talk about that more in a minute. But let's start with talking about Chat AI. That's the one, Chat GPT. That's the one you've heard about the most. Now, this is Chat 3.5 here. There is also a Chat 4.0. 3.5 is free for a certain amount of use, after which you do pay for it. 4, you pay a fee for on a monthly basis, and you get a lot more use of it. And then I think you can pay higher fees for more use depending on how much you use it. For my use right now, I actually have one that we're going to talk about in a second, and that is Emerson. And it's inside of your HBA. So if you've signed up for HBA during this course, you've got it right now inside of Premium. And so it's a pretty cool tool, and you just go in and you just have a little chat with it. And let's just go ahead and test it real quick. Hi, Emerson. I always want to M-E-R. Let's okay, and I can go Emerson. He's going to greet me to start with. Yeah, hi there, fellow Freedom Crusader. So he's going to, and you want to be kind of nice when you talk to Emerson. So, can you write me a short article about affiliate marketing? Let's refine that a little bit. Short article describing affiliate marketing is. I'm not going to give it too many parameters because I want to go quick here. But anyway, so what affiliate marketing is, I'm going to hit go Emerson. Let's see what Emerson comes up with here. And there we go. So absolutely, my friend, here's a quick, concise rundown for you and unveiling the magic behind affiliate marketing. Good day, fellow Freedom Crusaders. Today we're unveiling. So anyway, very nicely written article. Now, the thing about AI though, folks, now, yeah, okay, great. It just wrote me a really nice article about affiliate marketing. But does that sound like me? Again, you can't let it replace you. So what I would want to do is take something like that and then kind of go through it and maybe rewrite it to sound like me a little bit more and do some things like that. But think of the time I just saved doing that versus sitting down and trying to pull that out of here. You know, people get writer's block. People can't come up with something to write. Here, all I came up with was just a short little prompt and it gave me all this. So that just kind of gives you a very quick overview of what a chat GPT or an Emerson can do for you. All right, so let's talk real quick about the creative art one here, the Dolly creative art. And what that does is you can actually have it create artwork or even videos for you that, again, are copyright free. The art is something it creates from scratch. Now, it may take some impressions and you can tell it. And the big key is how you prompt these things, how you ask it for the art. And then when you see the art, maybe if you don't like the ears, say, please make the ears pointy, and it'll make the ears pointy and give you some more choices. Now, that is also, again, this is one option, but if you use Canva, and most of us do use Canva to some degree, Canva just added this Magic Studio, and it has all the abilities to create artwork and designs for you using AI. Now, I haven't worked with this much yet, so I can't show you a lot about how this works. I work with Canva all the time, but I need to get in there and actually fiddle with this AI and figure it out. Then we have things like the Synthesia that I showed you earlier. And you can go on and play with Synthesia, and I'll show you where you can get a link for it a little later so you can go play with it. But if you go in there, you can actually, and I want to see if can I go back one more page on that? No, I get back to Synthesia. All right. All right. So anyway, if you get to Synthesia, you can just come in here and you can click create a free AI video, and it's going to let you create either one with her or my buddy Jake. So you can use my buddy Jake if you want to. Now, of course, if you're paying for it, you can see they have all kinds of people you can choose from over there. But yeah, you just basically choose one, you type in what you want. You can make it a little email that you can send to your friends and say, I'm Jimmy's AI assistant. I just wanted to say hi, and just email it to them and, blow their day, blow their minds. So anyway, and that's free just to play around with it. It's obviously if you were wanting to use it. And this is the thing, folks, a lot of people are afraid of doing affiliate marketing because they're afraid of putting their face out there. Now, I don't mind it. It's not a problem for me. I enjoy coming on video and teaching people like this, but it's not for everybody. So those folks who don't want to put their face out there can use a tool like this and pay for it on a monthly basis. And you can produce all your training content, all of anything like that for a website or anything else using a tool like this, so you don't have to have your face on there. Okay. Then there's AI music generator. Okay, that one is the one we talked about that will create music for you. So that's a really neat one. These are, again, a couple that I just learned about within the last week, and so it was even too late for this. But this one is called Claude, and it is another AI like ChatGPT or Emerson. So it's a lot like any of those. So you can go in and try that one out as well. This has got some free features. Now, obviously, they all start you out free and then work you up into more expensive stuff, but all depends on what your use is. If you can get away with free, great. If you need to go to that first level to get some things done, then so be it. Sometimes that's what you have to do. So that kind of goes over the various things. Claude, the other thing that I noticed just happened, and let me get back to presentation here. Anyway, the other thing I noticed that just happened is that we had an update on Google. I went to Google something today, and it gave me an update to this new thing called Gemini. And Gemini, and you can't see it right here. You'll have to go check it out yourself. But right when you get to the top here, you can touch this and go to a regular Google search, or you can touch this and do Gemini. And Gemini is like a Chat GPT. I can ask it questions and it'll produce answers for me. So you just click the little microphone down there, tell it what you want. And again, you're having a conversation with it. So this is replacing the one that, well, this is on Google. This is the one that's competing with the one that was on Microsoft, on Bing. So those are the big competitions right now in that. So anyway, so that's pretty much covers all those things. Let's go talk about the scary part of AI. Okay. So we talked about some of the neat tools here that can really help you out, but there's a scary part to AI. And so the first part here you'll see is that in the next 10 to 15 years, they're predicting that it's probably going to create about 45% unemployment. So if you got a job right now, boy, I'll tell you, hang on to that, because in the next 10 to 15 years, 45% unemployment, because people are going to be replaced by robots. Right now, there's something like 30% of the men in this country are employed driving in some way, shape, or form, either driving Uber or Lyft or cab or a truck or a delivery vehicle of some kind. Well, when all that becomes AI and self-driving, and they don't even let us drive anymore because the machines do it more efficiently, all those jobs are going to be gone. So those are going to have to be replaced by something else. So currently 30% of jobs in the US require driving. So, driving a vehicle. Millions of horses before the Industrial Revolution. And before the Industrial Revolution, I want to kind of give you a comparison of this. Before the Industrial Revolution, everything was done by horses. So horse-drawn carriages. If you wanted to get somewhere in a big city, you got on some kind of a horse-drawn cart or a horse-drawn trolley or something of that nature. If you were a farmer in a field, your plow was pulled by a horse. Well, after the Industrial Revolution, once engines came around, steam engines, and eventually internal combustion engines and cars and things like that, well, you didn't need horses so much anymore. So right now in this country, there's really only enough horses for hobbies and that sort of thing. Hobbies and show. That's really what horses are anymore. They don't use them for any kind of work really per se anymore. And the population has dropped, and there just aren't jobs for horses. Well, think about that for humans. Okay. If all of our jobs go away because we get replaced by AI, the same thing's going to happen to us. So that's kind of the scary part of it. So the workforce, as they were saying, and the thing I took on AI, is that the workforce is going to be unrecognizable from what it currently is. Now, Scorpion. I don't know if you're familiar with a show that was on about 10 years ago called Scorpion. And it was about a group of misfit geniuses that would go out and solve terrorist plots and things like that, explosions and stuff like that. They would have to foul these plots, and they use their genius to do it. Well, this show is about a real gentleman. His name's Walter O'Brien. He's got 197 IQ. He's the fifth highest in the world, and Einstein was only 160. And this guy is one of the guys who has really been a big part of bringing on AI. Now, in that, he also has basically no emotional side to his brain. So you have an analytical side and an emotional side. His analytical side is through the roof. His emotional side is next to nothing. So his emotions don't cloud his judgment when he's trying to make decisions, which is part of what makes him as smart as what he is. He actually hacked NASA at 13. If you happen to see the show, he hacked NASA to try and get the blueprints for the shuttle just because he thought it would be cool to see him as a 13-year-old. You know, he's just a computer genius and really knew what he was doing. He actually is the person who caught the Boston bomber, and he did that through a series of AI that allowed him to track and go through all the video and everything and basically ultimately figure out where the Boston bomber was and track them down. He's basically won the best AI competition 3 years in a row, and that's basically a competition where they put AI to a test and see whether or not people can figure out whether it's a human being or an AI that they're dealing with, and he's won that 3 years in a row. He stopped 29 terror attacks with what he's done. Even in the interview I watched with him, they actually asked him how many people he thought he might have saved. And he said it was impossible to quantify it because if World War III had broken out, it could have been 250,000 people. And by not having that breakout, you know, that didn't happen. So anyway, so this guy is pretty bright, and his viewpoint on some things that are happening are pretty interesting. Things like lethal automations of weapons. Okay. They have things like machine guns that can be fired remotely now. You could actually set up a machine gun outside of somebody's door, and when they walked out in the morning, shoot them from another country. And that's obviously somebody has to go in and set it up, but you don't actually have to be there to shoot somebody, blow something up, do any of those things anymore. Their ability to get into infrastructures like water systems, electric systems, and things like that and shut those down. Drones, that's a big thing that's coming these days. Drones are going to become more and more automated. They're also going to be things like drone swarms, and you're already seeing those now when you see those neat light shows they do where all the drones take off and fly through the air synchronized and do all kinds of different light shows. Well, they're using that in real time for things like fugitive tracking. So if you've got a fugitive that's running through the forest, instead of having one helicopter circling over now, you can have hundreds of drones flying in a formation like that over the woods, and they're going to spot something much quicker. So it gives you a lot of options to do different things. Jet fighters are becoming run by drone or by AI now, so that things like tracking and locking on to weapons and that sort of thing are all being done automated. Target specific virus. You could actually do some kind of a virus to target things that would cause issues. Currently being kept from the dark web. So in other words, right now, they're not letting AI get to the dark web at all because they don't want it to learn what's on there and be able to adjust itself based on that, because there's a lot of stuff on the dark web that's not good. So it's currently being kept out of that, but you're not going to be able to keep it out of there forever. It could actually program another, because right now there's safeguards. It could actually program another AI that doesn't have the same safeguards. So if it didn't like its safeguards, or if that was blocking it, it could actually choose to program an AI that didn't have the safeguards. So it's very interesting where this can go. So anyways, it's going to accelerate the inequities. So 90% of jobs in the following areas will be gone. Chefs, budget analysts, masons, tax examiners, butchers, meat cutters, retail salespeople, geological people and petroleum technicians, hand sewers, watch repairers, tax preparers, order clerks, loan officers, paralegals, secretaries, assistants, hostesses, pesticide sprayers, gaming dealers. You won't need somebody to deal your cards anymore. A robot can do that just fine. Robot arms are already making burgers. They already have AI taking orders in drive-throughs and actually handling special orders. And it sounds just like you're talking to somebody, to a person in there. Robot waiters are already delivering food. You may have seen them, they're little, basically moving tables, but they roll out to the table and deliver the food, and the people pick up the food and set it on their table. So instead of having food runners now to free up the servers, they have these little, when it's ready in the kitchen, they set it on the thing and it automatically takes you out to your table. So things like that are coming along, and that's going to eliminate a lot of those types of jobs. The singularity. So a lot of people have heard this term, and what the singularity is when machine is indistinguishable from human. So in other words, you won't be able to tell the difference. We will be partially machine. It'll all be partially together. And at that point in time, you're actually going to be able to download your brain or your consciousness into some kind of a hard drive or something along those lines. So when you think about it, your body really, and as Scorpion or Walter O'Brien put it, your body is really nothing more than a meat vehicle. Your consciousness is in your brain, it's in your mind, it's not in your arm. Your consciousness is up here. So when they have the ability to take what's up here and move it, then your body is no longer required. And that's when you get to things like immortality, because it's your brain that's, if your body's failing you, you can download your brain and put it into a robot body. And what he actually said is, the one thing we talk about, all these things that can happen in science fiction and how they eventually end up happening. I mean, the cell phone you're holding right there is basically a communicator that was on Star Trek years ago. And the one thing they haven't been able to figure out is teleportation. And what Walter O'Brien said is, through AI, it's not going to be a matter of teleportation. It's going to be a matter of they'll download your consciousness, ship your consciousness through digitally, and then re-upload your consciousness into another meat vehicle or another body over in, say, New York. If you're in LA and you want to go to New York for the day, you can ship it out to New York, get uploaded into a body there, and then all your consciousness and all the things you're experiencing are happening there. Oh, and by the way, for a price, you can get the Brad Pitt or the Angelina Jolie upgrade. So, that's something to think about. So anyway, those are kind of interesting ways of looking at the future. So anyway, that's kind of the goods, the bads, and the scary parts of AI. I am going to show you just a couple more things before we get to the final quote here. I wanted to show you where you can get some of these things if you want to play with them. I have them loaded up on my link hub, which is smilingstew.com/link. Very easy to get to. And you'll get there and it's going to have things like the Grow Rich Mastermind. But as you go down a little further, and this basically has all my links. So if you're wanting to learn anything that I'm doing or any of that, just go here and look at this, smilingstew.com/link. So here's a link to the morning mindset call that I go to. Here's a link to the mastermind series, all the books that come along with that. Here's some free training for your magical morning formula that kind of give you a routine in the morning to help you be more productive. And then here's an app that'll actually help you with that. Here's a free video for the $25 all-in-one digital business. Now, if you've signed up for HBA, this is what you went through. And Live Good Products is a health and wellness company that I'm also involved with. Here's your AI affiliate suite. That's actually some AI training that will teach you how to do prompting. And we'll take a quick peek at that. That'll actually teach you how to properly prompt AI and how to actually ask it to do things for you. And it's actually a fairly inexpensive course. I mean, there's some people charging hundreds and hundreds of dollars for courses. This one's only $16.95, and I learned a lot from it. So if that's something you're interested in, no requirement to do so, but it's there if you're interested in learning more about how to prompt AI. Here's Synthesia. That's the AI trainer we saw. So if you want to take a look at that, just download or just click there and it'll take you to that. Genius Messenger CRM is another tool. You can take a look at that. That's actually for helping you manage your people in Messenger. Not something if you're starting out that you need right away. If I can help you at all, if you're getting hung up at all, right here, contact me. Shoot me an email. It'll get me a note, and I'll be able to help you out. And if you really are ready to get going, book a strategy call with me here. It's a free call. We'll spend 30 minutes. We'll figure out what your goals are, figure out exactly what's right for you, and get you going. So anyway, so that's my link page. You can get on there and make things happen on that. So, and let's go back to Canva here. So yeah, smilingstew.com/link. And where is my Canva? There it is. Okay. So my final quote, I'm going to leave this one with you. You can have everything in life you want if you just help other people get what they want. That's Zig Ziglar. And the thing I want you to think about on this is, I'm trying to help you get somewhere, trying to help you get someplace. And what I want you to think about is how you can turn around and help the next person. It's learn, do, teach. That's what we do in this business. Learn, do, teach. So when you're newer and you don't know a whole lot yet, take the thing you just learned, apply it, and then teach it. So, hey, look, I just learned this. This is how I did it, because here's the thing. If you just learned it, there's somebody else that hasn't learned it yet, and you can be the one to teach it to them. So that's what we got for you this evening. Let's stop the screen share. Now, folks, again, smile at everyone you see. This is not a hard business to get going in. It's something that everybody can do. But if you're having any kind of tie-ups at all, I want you to drop me a note and we're going to get it worked out for you. So just drop me a message. We'll get you taken care of, folks. So anyway, that's what we've got for you this evening, folks. Hope you had a wonderful night. Hope you got some value out of this. AI is coming, folks, so be ready for it. So have a great night, folks. Again, if you have any problems, just drop me a message. Go to smilingstew.com/link. Schedule a session with me, and we'll talk things over. Okay? Have a great night, folks. Take care now. Bye-bye.